Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I am the Fanged One, with you as always, and this is episode 2 of our Sons of Anarchy rewatch. So, episode 1. Nothing really special really jumps out at me as far as the episode is concerned. It was meant more to introduce the character Jax, to introduce the major players, Clay, Gemma, Jax, the Doctor, things like that. Episode 2 is where things are going to take off, are where the majority of the major storylines for this are going to start coming together. I didn't have as many moments in the first episode that I didn't remember as I thought I would. I remember a good chunk of that first episode, almost verbatim. I don't know why it stuck in my head, but it did. The smoothness of Charlie Hunnam playing Jax Teller is still amazing to watch, even as he begins to sink into the role. One of the fun facts that I can share with you guys from episode 1 is Jax Teller was considered an oddity in the world of MCs until a lot of people realized that he was modeling the character after a real person. There was a lot of people that were talking about the show when it first came out. That were talking about how no biker in a club like this would wear sneakers, only to find out that the VP of the Hell's Angels club that he kind of sat with for a few months before filming started wore sneakers. It's why Jax does. It's to pay homage to this individual who sadly lost his life before the show could officially air. Chill Will or Chilly Willy or something like that was the guy's name. And Hunnam wanted to pay respect to the guy, hence why the sneakers remained and why the sneakers remain through the whole show. Gemma is an anomaly, even in the first episode, because she goes from being this mother, Sally Homemaker. What the hell was Beaver's mom's name? But basically, like the Cleaver family matriarch, to somebody completely different in that scene with Clay. She brings the concerns to him. She's talking about like a power grab and a power structure. And when he starts to resist what she's saying, this chick resorts to blowing him as a way to kind of bring his guard down. This is a woman that is very used to using her femininity and her sexuality as a weapon. And that is a point that a lot of people miss with Gemma in the first episode. I thought that Chibs did not get introduced until the next episode, this one here. I was wrong. Chibs was in the pilot. I forgot about that, apparently, because I was talking to somebody about the whole show, and I mentioned the characters that were in the pilot, and I didn't think Chibs was one of them. So I'm happy to have been wrong about that and actually got to see that. The tension between, I do not want to say too much without just kind of blowing this whole rewatch out of proportion out of the water for some of the people who haven't actually seen it yet. So let's just go ahead and jump into Sons of Anarchy, Season 1, Episode 2, Seeds. You guys ready? Let's do this. TBMA. I've never used a welder before, but that's got to be hot as shit.
Got the good shit.
Oh, the good shit.
There you go, boys.
Shit's addictive. Turning me a fat bastard.
You put hash in them?
Ain't know my rule, no bud before 9 a.m.
I don't have that rule.
I don't have that rule.
Deal with the Niners has officially closed. Spoke to Leroy and he is giddy. about his new assault rifles.
Well, we love the Queen. All about the Benjamin.
That's a really good shot to show you the unease of basically Opie just trying to make ends meet while watching everybody around him get paid what was probably a couple of grand. Like, when you look at, if what Jack's opened was all hundreds, which it probably was, you're probably looking at 2, maybe 3 grand in that envelope. So this guy is trying to make ends meet, and he's watching like his brothers basically open envelopes of $3,000 or $4,000. So that's a really good way to kind of show that.
I just got an update from my city hall snitch. Looks like Hale's got a warrant to search our warehouse.
You're a little outside your jurisdiction, aren't you, Hale?
Yes, he is.
If it blows up this close to your town, it would be bad law enforcement not to look into it. You know this guy? Rodrigo Carpio?
No.
Found him in the debris basin. 3 bullets in his back. He died 50 yards inside Charming. And that's a warrant. In case you've never actually seen one.
That line is still, in my opinion, one of the hardest lines in this whole season. Just kind of slapping that paper into his chest, and that's a warrant. Just in case you've never actually seen one. Hardest line this whole season.
Sorry about last night. Should have had that place level before the mines ever got there.
You know what? Everything happens for a reason. If we hadn't hit that warehouse, we never would have known about the Nord mine hookup.
Right.
Truth. Truth.
Gonna go see the kid later.
Yeah, I'll be there. And I still want to do that dinner. Maybe tomorrow night.
Sure.
Okay.
You can tell he really loves his mom.
Did he say anything about what he found in storage?
Not his old man. Stop worrying.
That's really hard to do for a mom. Like, that's really hard to do for a mom.
Right. How was Unser? Got a protection run tonight.
Tate looks worried.
Those 2 dead Mexicans in the warehouse hall. I was hitting them.
Both of them?
Oh, yeah. Kind of a Taco Tufa thing.
Jesus fucking Christ. So I was talking in, it may have been the opening of the last episode, of the first episode, but about the, I don't know how I want to say this, wussification, I guess, of society, and how bad people aren't meant to say bad things, basically, that everybody needs to be respectful at all times. Like, even when you're writing like a racist Southern character, you're supposed to have him treat everybody with respect and dignity, even though that makes no fucking sense for the story you're telling. But I had seen it in the movie Grown Ups that I was watching recently on Hulu, and how they'd taken out a couple of specific sections of the movie because it didn't necessarily pass like the PG smell test. And I was concerned they were going to do it with Sons because it was on Hulu. And it looks like Sutter gave him a big finger because that is 100% not PC. Like, at all.
Tell me one of them doesn't have a belly full of Tigger juice.
Read that book, though.
You did time, shithead. You were in the DNA database.
You know how bored you got to be to have nothing else in your life to do other than basically get blown by 2 different women to completion at the same time? I'm not saying, like, don't go and get yours, because, do what you got to do, by all means. But on the other side of that coin, like, you're talking about a half hour to 50-minute expenditure of time per session. Like, that's 2 fucking hours of my life. You gotta be like supermodel hot. And I mean, look at me. That's never gonna happen. Like, this face is never gonna be next to a model. It's just not gonna happen. No. But like, I'm not giving 2 hours for that. I'm just not.
Maybe someone can sneak me in, you know?
Are you just gonna stroll out of there with 2 dead Mexi whores draped over your shoulders?
I'll gut them dead bitches. I'll flush their bellies with bleach.
No.
What kind of nasty shit did your mama do to you?
I forgot about that fucking line. Just that What kind of nasty shit did your mama do to you? What do you mean?
There's enough ammo in here to give Halliburton a hard on.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Mr. Bluebird just flew into a brand new cage.
Mr. Bluebird just flew into a brand new cage. The fucked up thing, honestly, about, like, how do I say this without, like, getting deleted? The way they died together was very reminiscent of a lot of, like, the Pompeii bodies that you see. Like, the mother and daughter or the lovers bodies that you see in Pompeii. And that does not speak well for Tig. The fact that one of those girls was probably about 16. Maybe a little older, possibly. Because, like, the one who was holding her was probably in her, like, early 30s. So, that's... that could just be my brain.
Right into this world.
What were you thinking, brother?
I was thinking about getting my dick sucked twice.
All anybody can prove is a couple of
I'm trying so hard not to laugh at that. What were you thinking? I was thinking about getting my dick sucked twice. I'm going to hell in a handbasket.
brownies swallowed your chum. You died hiding from the fire. You didn't kill anybody.
It's not
That's not what it's about. It's not about the murder beef.
a factory at our doorstep.
And then ATF takes up permanent residence?
This again shows how smart Jax is, because that is legit 100% the actual threat. They cannot prove that Tig had anything to do with these girls dying. Nothing to do with that. However, the fact that his DNA is inside them and they're at the scene means that he knew, basically in some way, he knew about the Bluebird Supply Company, and it opens up really bad doors that you don't necessarily want them to have the legal grounds to open. Because law enforcement thinking something, or knowing, law enforcement basically knowing something is one thing. Law enforcement being able to probably connect you to that event is something completely different. So Hale may know that this gun factory is Sam Crow's. He probably does know that, considering it's only a couple hundred yards outside of Charming, and the Sons are very adamant about keeping people away from Charming. So if this thing is here, it's theirs. He knows that. He can't prove it. He can't connect Sam Crow to this building, period. However, they can begin digging deeper once he can go to a judge and say his DNA was in their assemblers, basically, which means they had access at one time or another, either to the women or to the facility itself, which opens the door for wiretaps, search warrants, investigations, just all kinds of shit that you do not want them to open. Jax is right.
Collective rectums.
That is correct.
It's a local case. County won't get involved. Hell just wind up borrowing a crime scene unit from Lodi.
Truth.
My sister still works for the ADA in Lodi. Call her, see if there's a forensic team heading this way.
I gotta have a talk with Unser.
Unser's just waiting for the clock to run out. That old boy's a lame duck.
So your boy.
Fun fact, at the time I first watched this, I had no idea what the hell that meant. Because I had first seen this, I was maybe 22, 23, and had very little experience with politics in any form. I knew who the president was. I knew there was an election that year, and like political ads were appearing and annoying me, every couple of years. But that was as far as my knowledge of politics actually went. And then as I got older, I started paying attention to terminology and policy and I wish to God that more people would, instead of, Democrat, Republican bad, or Republican, Democrat bad. Like, I really wish to God that they would pay more attention to the actual policies that are getting put in place, not the promises, for fuck's sake, but the actual policies that are getting put in. Anyway, sorry, let me get off my soapbox now. I didn't start paying attention to this shit until much later. So, for those of you who may be too young to not pay attention, that line is basically a reference to what they call the president during the last, 3 months of his term. It's considered the lame duck period, when you don't basically want them doing anything that's too drastic in one way or the other, because the incoming administration, whether it's one side or the other, is going to have their own ideas and their own plans of things they want to do, and so you don't want them doing anything major, because they're on their way out the door anyway. So basically, what Jax was saying to Clay just now was, Unser's on his way out the door. There's going to be a new sheriff coming in, and that new sheriff's policies are going to be what matters. Unser's not going to do anything too extreme in one direction or the other, is basically what Jax was just saying.
Not really a team player. He made several gestures of friendship. He's declined every one. Hale is a half-bred clerk with a wide herb complex. Hardly seems like a guy with a vision.
Don't underestimate.
Truth.
But you're the boss, right?
For now. For now.
Since they found the cancer last year, I got 1 foot out the door.
This uptight piece of shit is gonna make our lives miserable. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. It's done. This doesn't mean we can't keep our business arrangement. Me and you, we had a good thing going for a lot of years. We need each other.
What's the run?
Got Blu-rays and iPods heading down to San Jose. Keep your eyes open on this one.
I'll make sure they get where they're going.
I'll make sure they get where they're going.
How you doing, Jax? Heard about Winnie and the baby, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I took a ride out to the streams today.
Outside your jurisdiction, ain't it?
I love that little snide little comment.
Hear of a Bluebird supply company?
Never heard of them.
That warehouse was a weapons depot.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Unser's always had a look the other way policy with the Sons of Anarchy.
Unser's a lazy drunk. We're all free men protected by the Constitution. You look any way you want, Chief.
Such a good line. That is such another good line. We're all free men protected by the Constitution. You look anywhere the hell you want, Chief. Such a good line. The script writing. The script writing from Sutter in these early episodes is just phenomenal.
He's moving around a lot more.
Yeah, all his vitals are up.
Is that a good sign for a preemie baby? Like, if they move around more? Like, I honestly have no idea. Let me know if you know.
Points to full recovery.
How long is he gonna be in that thing?
Could be weeks. But
NICU? NICU, yeah. Like, she just said it, NICU. Is that an acronym for something, by the way? Like, if anybody knows what the acronym for that is, put it in the comment section down below, because I have no fucking idea what the goddamn acronym for that is.
Sorry about last night. It was...
I really don't want to know.
Right.
She doesn't necessarily want to know, but she's not judging either.
You always hated it here.
I didn't hate Charming Jax. Just me in it at the time.
Yeah.
Such another good line.
Like, Wendy's gonna be okay.
I didn't hate Charming Jax. Just me in it at the time.
You two, are you together?
Nah, 10 months back, we tried to reconcile. Didn't work out too well.
Obviously.
Well, looks like one good thing came out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good way to look at it. Even
Yeah, I get...
Jax's smile when he realized that. Like, he's thinking back on Wendy, and he thinks all of the time was a waste, and, nothing good came from her getting clean and them reconciling. And then he realizes through Tara that, like, yeah, one good thing came of it. Like, your boy's in there, and it's looking like he's going to be fine. Like, and you can see the shift in Jax. That's another example of what I was talking about in the last episode, of the actor being able to shift so seamlessly between the facial expressions of an emotion, because you could see that disinterest. It wasn't the same disgust that he had for Wendy when he was looking at her in the room when he was there, but it was kind of a dismissive, like, yeah, it didn't work out very well. And then Tara mentions that, and you could see that quick the facial expression change. Charlie Hunnam is such a goddamn good actor.
Yes, it did. Should get going.
Yeah, I'm late for rounds.
She is stunning in the early seasons. And I like that the conversation he just had with Tara and the realization that they did do something worthwhile together actually makes him go and see Wendy. That's a very nice touch.
I need the truck.
Why can't you take the wagon?
We're 3 months behind.
I don't know how to get.
Full circle back to the scene when they were getting paid in the clubhouse and the look on his face. Like, full circle back to that moment. This is such good writing.
None of this shit. I'm married here, Donna.
Like, I'll pick up some weekend work. You'll get that pay bump soon. I'm gonna make it through this, baby. I promise.
Shouldn't you be at the mill?
I'm on my way. I gotta ask a favor. I hate doing
You didn't
this.
ask me for money. I can't help you. I just made quarterly insurance payments. I'm gonna be tapped until the end of next month, okay?
And he does want to help, you can tell.
Clay was making a protection run tonight for Unser.
Clay's shit list. Doubt he put me on it.
But then why don't you make it right?
No, he's right.
I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. Grow a dick and take care of your business.
I ain't one place in order. I didn't know what to say. How about the store burned down? They missed the fire sale.
They missed the fire sale. Good line.
Talk to Otto's sister, and Lodi forensic team will be here first thing in the morning.
Only one thing is gonna stop that Lodi forensics team, and that's another murder in Lodi.
I don't know. It's not a good time to kill
It's never
things.
a good time. We're talking about protecting Tick here and staying out of ATF's crosshairs.
He's not wrong either.
Hey! What if I could do this without spilling blood?
Mm-hmm.
Brains before bullets, right? Skeeter. He's always got more gambling debt than he can handle. I'll make it worth his while.
The cemetery guy?
Cash for cadavers. Placa. Important thing is to keep your DNA out of the petri.
Truth. Legit.
Path of least resistance always best, right? Don't make me regret this.
Don't make me regret this.
Hey guys, what's going on? Man, now's not a good time. And the supervisor crawling up my ass.
Come on.
Actually, so the throw.
Need 2 bodies. Fresh.
2 dead.
How smooth Jax is with everybody.
Beating the Golden Gate this weekend.
No, I stopped the ponies, man. I stopped it all.
You don't want the money.
Working a program, you know. Something you might be able to get for me.
What's that?
Emily Duncan. I've been trying to push up on that for a long time.
You want to hook up with the Crow Eater? I'll make it happen.
Shit, you got a deal. I'm not creepy.
It's really horrific to me how women are treated in this world, because they really are. It's basically a commodity, something to be, handed out like currency. But I mean, in this case, like with Emily, I can imagine they only think they could do that because of her own behavior. It isn't like he's going to offer Tara in the same situation. I don't know. It's weird. It's like 6 of one, half dozen of the other,
You mean anything till the end of the week?
Need 2 by tonight.
Well, I'm prepping a close coffin.
White guy?
Yeah.
I'll take it. You're a Mexican guy, too.
Buried one this morning. Cheap seat should still be fresh.
Get to digging, Prospect.
So wrong, man.
And that got to be really bad karma. Like, really bad karma. Nah, not going to say it.
This stealing those M4s was a bad move.
None of my moves are bad.
Niggers got their gats back, and you're out 3 men in a warehouse. What the hell would you call it?
Insurance covers a warehouse. And I've always been about survival of the fittest.
We need to combine forces, now. Strike first.
Let the asshole sweat. Spend a little doom about what they saw. Was me getting the gun Sam Crow keeps feeding my competition.
Yeah?
Of course the Niners.
I don't give a shit about some wetback nigger beef.
I don't give a shit about the beef.
It's because I need muscle to push Sons of Anarchy the hell out of Charming. Now, you comprehend that?
You know what I've never understood about this plan? So, the Nords are obviously desperate to get, like, new territory. And they can't move anywhere else but into Charming because I'm guessing there's a crew everywhere else but Charming. You have a agreement to get the guns for the Mayans so the Mayans can grease the Niners. Why isn't your agreement that you do that and then the Nords move into the Mayans or to the Niners territory? Because the thing with the Mayans and the Niners is that they're at odds because they're both selling the same product, basically. And I don't think that Alvarez would have as much of a problem with the Nords selling crank as he does the Niners moving H, because that's what they sell, and it's a conflict. I don't understand why that wasn't the play. Like, why do you have to have Charming specifically? Unless it's just about Darby's ego and the fact that he could never have it because of Clay. He ain't gonna shake your hand, dude. He's not gonna shake your hand. Holy shit, he actually did.
It's my goddamn Suburban.
Who?
Nah,
the old mucker. It's 130 pounds of carbureted and giggity.
Love that line.
Chip said you were looking for me. I'm Emily.
Right. Shit, sorry. Come in. So, I need you to do a favor for the club, Emily.
Really? Sure. I mean, what do you need? What can I do?
Yeah, like don't agree before you hear what it is.
I'm trying to get my pants in high school.
Need you to let him in. But we need Skeeter to do us a good deed.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be our secret.
Yeah.
Cross my heart.
Oh yeah, like that's gonna stay a secret. You cross Skeeters? It's so cringe. It really is.
But you come.
And there are some women that are like this. Like some women that are all about the club, the cut thing. There are some men that are like that too. And it's not just the cut either, if you stop and think about it. Like these types of personalities are basically everywhere. You have, in this world, you have crow eaters, right? But then you also have things like buckle bunnies in the rodeo circuit. You have lot lizards in like the trucking industry. Like there are groupies in the music industry. Ring rats in the wrestling industry. Like there are people, both male and female, that are like this for just about every like major culture in the world. And I'm actually very curious what some of the other names, like, because if it's happening so robustly here in the States, you know that it's happening elsewhere with other groups like MCs. So, like, what do the Yakuza call the Japanese version of this? Like, I'm very curious. So we got Bobby, Clay, Tig, and Oak. I'll talk more about this in my final thoughts.
Not only do you stink, but you're a fat bastard too.
Yeah, beware the zombie bikers!
Jesus Christ, you scared the
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Beware the zombie bikers.
Hate this shit. It's really bad karma, you know, digging up a grave, man.
Nah, as long as it's not your grave, karma's just fine.
He's right. It is really bad karma digging up a grave.
Dude, I tell them I lost it in battle. All they want to do is wrap their patriotic lips around it.
Another example, soldiers. He made me spill my beer.
Gemma.
Abel seems better. I heard about Wendy. Very sad.
Very sad.
I'm surprised.
Guess you wouldn't be.
Something on your mind?
Something on your mind? No.
Junkie tell you something?
No, somebody else popped her with that needle. Or, at the very least, gave her the loaded gun.
Or at the very least, gave her the loaded gun. Good analogy.
Guess you think I'm that somebody?
And we'll see what Wendy says when she comes out of detox. Or maybe I'll bounce my theory off of Jax. See where he lands on it.
That's how you're gonna win back his heart?
I am not trying to win back anybody.
No? Then why'd you come back to Charming?
Because of the job.
Which one? Doctor or detective?
That's a good line.
Or do anything you want in this town, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
No one is untouchable.
You wanna touch me, sweetheart? That make you happy?
Oh, no. No. Even Tara was a little uncomfortable. No.
Oh, shit. Spotted smash front out.
Mm-hmm. From when he got cut off, fucking douchebags.
Laura's got a sky team. We'll never get away knowing this piece of shit.
Put the gun away.
Jesus Christ! Hey! Hey! Get back here!
Come on, Piggy. Come on. And legit, I can see a cop doing that because they're pissed off that they've been humiliated. But that is 100% improper use of force as far as I'm concerned. There is no danger of you or anybody in the immediate vicinity being in danger. Like, there's no chance of that. This road is empty with the exception of you and that car. That car is not driving towards you, it is driving away from you. Therefore, you even drawing your weapon is 100% an unjustified use of force. Period. But they're gonna get away. And
Thanks.
Clay and O.
Not much to say, you know what it's like.
Yeah, Donna's having a rough time of it.
I forgot I had donuts. Anyway, as we were.
I think it was easier for her when I was inside. She knew what to do then.
Yeah?
Sometimes the people we love just don't know the right move. Crippled by all the shit they're afraid of.
Donna's not crippled.
She's pissed.
She's pissed.
Yeah, so.
When guys get locked up,
He probably was for a couple of months.
I got no resentments.
Attaboy.
Can anybody who has any experience with trucking or the trucking industry explain to me the purpose of scale weighing in? Like, what the hell's the point? Is it like a identify how much a truck weighs so they know how much to charge for like the road for wear and tear? Is it an anti-drug thing so they can know like what it's carrying, the exact weight of what it's carrying, and if there's any weight difference? Like, what the fuck is the point of scales? I do not understand. If you know, put in the comment section down below.
Yeah, I just got a heads up about a hijack zone. Go on the back way, take 101 instead.
You sure you guys know where the hell you're going?
You sound like my wife.
You sound like my wife.
Hey, bring it forward. Little more. Little more.
Oh, that pop! Jesus.
Oh, that city nasty.
Yes, it did.
Someone call Greenpeace. They're saving a Mexican whale.
Fun fact. What they are doing is a lot harder than it looks. And it would probably take more than 2 of them to do it. So, anybody who has picked something up, know there is a difference between a 200 and let's say 90-pound man. Look at me. I'm 270, right? 270 at my height. This dude is probably close to 360, 380, right? And there's a big difference between picking up a 380 person who is awake and a 380 person who is asleep. It is the concept of dead weight. And you basically want to take the weight of whatever you're lifting and give it half again. So if you're lifting a 100-pound object, but it's complete dead weight, it will actually weigh closer to 150 pounds. If you're lifting a 200-pound object, it'll be closer to 300, etc., etc. So if this dude weighs 350, 360, this is like a 500-pound man that they are lifting, or 500 pounds of weight that they are lifting. I do not think that it would be just those 2. It would probably be closer to all 4 of them having to lift him into that seat.
Get blood. Come on.
Make it look real. What a beautiful thing.
I plant the gun. I'll leave the message.
Blood for blood. No, that isn't what it said.
I can move this whole load for you in 2 days.
Good. My little gift to you. We had a little setback with the business.
But I'll let the boys know. They don't do any big gun business with anyone except the Sons.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Yeah. Make it fall off the truck, boys.
Make it fall off the truck, boys.
You knew all this was going down?
Well, I had it in the works, but I wasn't sure till I got the call. Chief Munson needed a wake-up call. We needed a goodwill gesture. It'll all work out.
Wait a minute. You see what I see? That's that douchebag that cut us off.
Ooh, not good. Not good for him anyway. This poor guy, just trying to do his fucking job at his store. Like, this poor guy.
Yo. Pass one of those Hostess thumb dips.
And taking out the tape.
Don't ever cut me off with that shithead.
But you call me now, asshole!
That poor woman just caught in the middle. And you can hear in Chibs' voice as like this chick is like pinning him to the ground because she's in terror and she's basically just trying to crawl over him, but half frozen in it, that she can't move, and he's got this like basically this dead weight chick like on top of him. You can hear him calling out for Jax because he's concerned about Jax's safety at this point. Like, that's a really good touch for Chibs. There is so much paperwork needed from this.
You okay, Jackie boy? Holy shit.
Holy shit is right.
Out there. O'Brien Electronics is my biggest account. What are you doing, Clay?
Just keeping a good cop on the job is all.
If I say no,
I'll make sure every truck leaves this yard hits a roadblock.
That's a threat.
this is how you treat an old friend.
Nah,
Jesus Christ is right.
that's how I treat an old cop.
Sorry, miss.
Such a good line. No, this is how I treat an old cop.
More? The last two bounced.
Okay, I'll just pay cash.
And of course, Gemma just happens to be there.
What's this?
Rest of your groceries.
I hope he's out now. We don't need any more charity.
Your family.
I have my family back. I don't need yours.
I know what you went through.
Look.
Lose your man, kids lose their dad. Sam Crow is not the enemy. It's the glue. The one thing that will always be there to pull you through the ugly shit. We're having a little family dinner tonight. You and Hope should come. Don't say anything else. My Martha Stewart's wearing real thin.
My Martha Stewart's wearing real thin.
Why'd you pull my detail off the warehouse?
I was paying overtime for 6 unis to sit on a 20 that's not even in our jurisdiction. It gave city council a heads up. I'll be keeping the badge for another 6 months.
What the hell are you doing, sir?
Right now, getting a haircut.
You've always been a Sam Crow's pocket. This is a bad
Stop talking, son. One more wrong thing comes out of your mouth and I'll rip that badge off your puffed out chest. Sorry, Floyd.
That boy needs a hot shave.
Most of us were not violent by nature. We all had our problems with authority, but none of us were sociopaths. We came to realize...
I resemble that remark. There's a... We're nearing the end of this episode, but there's a misconception in the world because of a lot of big time like therapists and things like that, and like the news media, that like sociopathy means like serial killer, and that's not what it means. There are a lot more sociopaths in this world than we think they are, living just normal everyday lives. People that do not understand the difference between right and wrong, but made the conscious decision that they were going to allow society to guide them, that they were going to allow the basic idea of what the world has decided right and wrong is, and let like that kind of guide them. That is how I have lived my life since I was 15 years old. That little voice in your head that tells you do not rob a convenience store because it's wrong, I don't have that voice. If the thought of robbing a store comes into my head, there's not a little voice that says this is wrong, you shouldn't do it. It's just silence. But I know that that is not societally acceptable. So I don't do it. The same with a lot of the other things I do. And it's why I have to be extra careful in certain situations. Because protecting women that are being preyed upon is viewed as socially acceptable. Protecting children that are being preyed upon is considered socially acceptable. And there's been more than one occasion where I had to kind of gauge how far that protection was going to go. Because it's very easy to, let's just say, go too far in the protection of this. And hearing people like John talking about like none of us were sociopaths, that doesn't necessarily mean what the writers of this show think it means. and it offends me on a personal level. So that's all that's about.
That when you move your life off the social grid, you give up the safety that society provides.
Yep.
And if you're a man with convictions, violence is inevitable.
Good quote.
I hope they look better than this when they blew you.
A little.
A little. Like, don't judge me.
Jesus, smells like old socks and pussy in here.
That can't be a pleasant smell.
Oh, hey, darling. We're having a sale on toiletries. I picked you up some things. That's your dad's stuff you found in storage?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pictures, a few Harley manuals, bunch of nom shit.
You can tell on some level, like from how she looks at the stuff and how she looks at John, you can tell that on some level she did love him at some point as she reminisces on that time. It's a lot of Katie and her ability as an actress. Like, this is, you can totally see it.
You said you read something?
A few journal entries, nothing much.
Yeah, Jack's just keeping that shit close to the vest.
You know, I'm the one who bought him that old Selectric.
Didn't know that.
Jack, what do they want?
What is it with dudes and keeping clothes hanging out of their dressers? I'm not big on dressers myself. I never have been. I tend to be a little more unorganized than that. But I've noticed that my brother is that way. Like, if I'm walking through his room to leave the house, like, he tends to leave a lot of, like, pants hanging half in, half out of the dress. Like, what the fuck is it with that? Like, with dudes and doing that. Yeah, see, you can see it.
Hunter's not retiring. What did you do? Threaten to rape his daughter? That's a...
Both of them turned around at the same time.
Just got back from that Bluebird warehouse. There were 2 dead women in the utility hatch.
They could have been napping.
They could have been napping.
And you and I know the truth. You're white trash thugs holding on to a dying dream.
That is so poetic, Chief. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess it's just Deputy Chief.
Shots fired.
It won't be long before Sam Crow is just an ugly memory in the history of charming.
Why you gotta walk backwards like some, like, I think he was right about him having a Wyatt Earp complex.
Should we say a prayer or something?
You know any Bible passages about lost semen?
Juice. Yeah, see, Jax is like, really, bitch?
May have sunshine warm your souls. Amen.
Of course it's Tig that knows Bible passages. Like, of fucking course it is. Why burn that? That makes no sense. And of course, close the episode on the Sons driving by. Unser cannot be happy right now. God, that is an unhappy ass family. That is an unhappy ass family. And then in comparison. You can tell that Jax has a lot on his mind. But he's happy, like, he's happy to see his family happy, though. But you can tell he has a lot on his mind. Alright, guys, let's talk about it. So, that was episode 2, Seeds. And, in my opinion, it lays the seeds of what's coming. It lays the seeds of what's coming through the entire franchise, I think. So, what I was going to say earlier on in the episode about Karma that I didn't necessarily want to say at the time, and I may delete all this. I don't know. But I think what happened to I forget the actor's name. Hapsack. I forget the actor's name. Johnny something. But I think what happened to him is fairly well known to the public. That he got really bad into drugs and ended up offing his landlady. And then, I want to say he jumped off a roof and passed. But I wonder if the saying about digging up graves being bad karma is real. And that kind of has something to do with it. Because, like, you notice who did it. It may just be coincidence, but it's a hell of a coincidence, if I'm being honest. The showing the dynamic difference between the family dinner that Gemma and the MC put on and the family dinner that Opie and Donna put on in the same scene was striking. It was a very good way to show how unhappy this family is with their current lot in life. Opie and Donna's family is not functional. It's not. They're not happy. They're not content with their life. And you can see that. Like, none of them are. The Donna's not, Opie's not, and the kids look fucking miserable. I think also that they should have let Unser go. I understand that it's Dalton Callie, but you could have put Dalton Callie in a different role if you wanted him to be like a long-standing character, because he's an amazing actor. Dalton Callie is an amazing actor. But you could have put him in a different role. Because having them have to kind of work with a aggressive anti-club force for the first season could have been a really interesting story to tell. And you weren't going to get that with Unser. So I would have been very happy to see, like, where that would have gone. I think that's really it for episode 2, guys. So I will see you Wednesday for either the full Mayans episode 2 or possibly just part 1. The only shows that are going to be full episodes during the month of December that I can guarantee is Sons on Monday, because I have the entire weekend to work on it. And with my work schedule and working both jobs throughout the week right now, it's very difficult for me to find free time Monday through Friday. But I will at the very least get you guys half episodes for Wednesday and Friday so we keep everything moving. But you will continue to get full episodes of Sons of Anarchy every Monday. So I will see you guys Wednesday for, at the very least, the first half of Mayans MC Season 2, Episode 2. And I will see you guys Monday for Episode 3 of Sons of Anarchy. Also, if you like gaming content, don't forget to check out our gaming channel, Fanged, the Fanged one. We have episodes that go up there 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And got a lot of good content happening over there. In fact, we just started an Elden Ring playthrough. I want to say Friday was our first episode. So if you're big into From Software games and you want to watch, somebody basically torture themselves playing a game like this, head over there and check that out. So I will see you guys soon. Until next time, take it easy, everybody. Later.